Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 15 review, fan reactions live. We are going to be talking about the show throughout the week. I got to start out by thanking all of you guys for an incredible season. Started late last year and took a small break, got through 15, so this is kind of our finale. Great show. We'll talk about that tonight. We also got to see a preview of the finale, which is going to be later on in the year. We know that Fear the Walking Dead is coming back in the summer, so we just have to be patient for a couple of months. We're going to do fine when we get all of our shows back. So how about a shout out to our entire Patreon army? Just an incredible season. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Also to the Play Dead Live sponsors. Those of you that were here Friday night, thank you for your support. Those of you that were here for the pack openings all weekend long continue to just make our channel phenomenal. I mean, anywhere from Walking Dead to random things to trivia to our bold predictions to our own game that we created. I could not be more thrilled, more blessed. The future of our channel is incredible. So thank you for everything that you guys do. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. One thing I want to talk about is the princess. So what were your thoughts on the princess? Before we get to giving this episode an overall score, good, bad, a little too much, overbearing, just right, fun. I mean, let me know. Different, I get it, but I want to see, to each their own, different strokes. So Tammy Hill says, I love her. So, hey, we're getting off on the right foot. She made me laugh a couple of times, so that's a good thing. Dime says she's amazing. Trigger likes her. Tolerable, says Joseph. Good. All right, she's off to a good start then. All right, I do know that they got to stop killing horses on the show. It's like if you're a doctor or a horse on The Walking Dead, you can forget about it. So, horses last week, horses this week. They did get over the horse relatively quickly. I mean, I guess being called in the landfill is one thing. So let's start out with asking the group thoughts on tonight's episode. Once again, I don't think the spoilers did the show as much justice. The spoilers seem very bland the last two. They're spot on. But when you're reading through them and you see it live, it's much different. So let me get your thoughts. Not just because it's the finale. Well, you know what? Because it's the finale, who cares? Well, there's no holds barred. Give me your thoughts on The Walking Dead, episode 15, and then maybe in parentheses if you want to, give me the entire season. Let me know what you think. Robert Frank, I find her annoying. She reminds me of my friend's girlfriend. You know what? Honesty, my man. Honesty. Nothing wrong with that. If you like her, you like her. If you don't, you don't. So Joe Fulford's giving it a 9. Anna Demo gives it a 5.5. Leprechaun 6. I'm going to come in about an 8. I thought it was going to be a little bit lower. There were parts of it that I really enjoyed. Not a whole lot of action. I will say there were some stories that got finalized, right? So we saw Carol and Kelly. I wasn't a big fan of that. I did see a major difference, though. How did you guys feel about Daryl's reaction to Judith? And this is subtle, but it is important. So once again, they had to do something to make Negan look like he is the most empathetic, sympathetic, most caring man on the face of the earth. And they did it by, I won't say tarnishing Daryl's character, but they pushed Daryl a little bit more toward having to explain himself, and Negan a little bit more toward being the good guy. And this is what I mean by that. Daryl executed the Whisperer. You can say she deserved it. I'm not going to debate that, but he still did it. And Judith was in tears. Daryl did not even a small little tear out of the corner of his eye. So I thought they really hardened Daryl's character up quite a bit tonight. And boy, did they soften Negan's character up. Lydia, she needs an outlet. So Negan says, come on, hit me. And then Negan's in tears. He's crying because of what Lydia's going through, but Judith is going through something, and Daryl doesn't show that emotion. We know Daryl has the ability, and I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying, from a writing perspective, I think it was intentional that to show that Daryl toughness and to show the Negan sensitivity. I think when you show both in a short period of time, it can get you more toward the total redemption of Negan. At this point, I don't think you can say anything except Negan's fine. He's part of the group. He's a good guy. No sense in rehashing it anymore. Let bygones be bygones. Till Maggie shows up. But still, I felt like, I felt like he showed that compassion. And when people show the compassion when other people aren't around, to me, that really solidifies their character. So, I mean, where are Aaron and Alden? Was it a Whisperer that had a gun? They didn't show who pulled the gun. They showed whispers. Is there a traitor? Maybe it's too early to talk about this, but the fact that they didn't show the person's face that pulled the gun on Aaron and Alden, can we start a conspiracy theory? Maybe somebody betrayed the group? Just a thought. Guess we'll have to wait a few months to find out. But certainly wanted to get the conversation out there, get it circulating a little bit. Oh, I like that. I like that, Amy Bones. Gage? Could Gage have been a traitor? But we did state this earlier in the week. The fact that Aaron and Alden are captured again means it's bad news for Alden. You don't get captured twice by the Whisperers and make it through. So he's gone. So we still don't know what's going on with Connie. We still don't know where Aaron and Alden are. We saw that Beta and the Horde are walking up to the hospital, which is the tower where they're staying now. But we didn't see. I think if you got Alden and Aaron in that group, I think they're going to get eaten because, well, those walkers are hungry. So they can't be mixed in with the pack. It does look like they showed up somewhere else. And Rosita's nowhere to be found. So, yeah, Rosita's going off the cliff. She's going to distract those walkers. She's going to mess up Beta's plan. She has to. I mean, this is the war. So we don't get too far ahead of ourselves, but they're storming the hospital. It's the final stand. Some people are going to die. Rosita's going to step up. She's going to distract them. She's going to take them off the cliff. Daryl is going to kill Beta once and for all. And then Maggie's going to show up. And then we got this uncomfortable thing with Maggie and Negan going into next season. We got Joe Fulford. You think Michonne told Judith not to tell anyone about Rick being alive? I don't think specifically, Joe, that she had that conversation. But I just think it's one of those things that they always have to do on TV shows. Like, I know it's cliche, but there's three major things that happen on all TV shows. Number one, in a car chase scene, there's always a train, and one car gets in front of the train, and then the train always stops the second car. So that's number one. Number two, when groups are out in the woods, they never stay together. They always split up into two groups. So that is a major thing that happens. And number three, a lot of times people have information that they should share with everybody else, like Negan knowing about the helicopter, like Father G knowing about the helicopter, like Judith knowing that Michonne went to look for Rick. All three of those things happen, and they play out over and over and over again. But let's be honest, if they didn't, you probably wouldn't have any television show that is ever any good, because those three things always have to happen. And every once in a while, if you want number four, a motorcycle always slides down under an 18-wheeler. I've never seen that happen in my entire life, but I've seen it happen at least 100 times, in the movies or in a TV show where you can ride a motorcycle and you can slide it under 18-wheeler and survive it. I do not recommend it, but these are things that happen. So why in the world Judith is not telling everybody like, hey, my dad is still alive, or my mom's looking for my dad, to give them a little bit of hope? It just gets buried. I don't know what the big secret is. I don't know why it's a secret. I don't know why you need to lie about it. It's just something that, they have to do as writers to create a little bit of that suspense. So we talk about it. So, yeah, that's kind of my big four. No, do not wonder if that'll work. Please, I don't want to be blamed. The crazy YouTube guy said that I could ride a motorcycle and pull off the stunt. No, I'm not telling you to do that. In fact, I'm telling you to do the opposite. Just watch it on the show, pretend it's believable, but never try it. So, what are you most looking forward to in the season finale? I threw a whole bunch of things out there. I get it. I mean, and I'm just talking out loud. I'm not going on record of definitely saying those are bold predictions. I do feel like Rosita's dead. I think Rosita's going to save the day. If I didn't have to make one prediction, it's that. It is definitely that. The other ones just seemed like they'll play out in that way. Yes, Jessica Gonda says Daryl will live beyond The Walking Dead, and Rosita is Walker bait. I hate this. Yeah, it's there's no doubt that Rosita. If I had to put odds to it, I would say less than 5% chance Rosita makes it. I think you're going to get one of those. We know Father G is trapped. We know he's in trouble. Rosita's going to give her life for Father G and for baby Coco. She's got to go out like a badass. I mean, there is, honestly, can I ask you guys a question? And be perfectly honest. Is there a better exit for Rosita? I mean, if you're Christian Serratos, wouldn't you want, instead of like maybe dying from tetanus in episode 11, season 11, episode 2, or getting stung by a bee and there's no doctors around, or breaking your leg, any of those things, would you rather have that and be promised like 1 or 2 more episodes, or would you rather get kind of the big exit, like you get to walk walkers off a cliff, and that is the way it's going to go down? To me, if I'm an actor on the show, if I know that my death is imminent and I only got a few more episodes, Rosita's arc, I mean, I don't think it is in her nature, where we've seen her and we've kind of grown with her being military style and badass. She's already said goodbye to Eugene. She lost Sadiq. Eugene has moved on in a different direction. It's time for Rosita to do something heroic. She needs to go out like a blaze of glory. And I'm sorry if you're a Rosita fan. In fact, I am. I'm a Rosita fan too. Just like I was an Abraham fan. That trio was my favorite. Eugene, Abraham, and Rosita. I love that group. But, if I got to be honest, the way Abraham went down, I got no problem with Abraham taking one for the team, dying for the group. I got no problem Rosita taking one for the team and saving the group. And I got no problem with Eugene finding the future. In fact, I'm happy if all three of them have their own separate paths. I like Eugene not being a pushover anymore. Eugene actually has he actually makes good decisions and he's respected. He went through that whole cycle of, he was always in the shadow of Abraham. He always, Rosita pushed him around. And then, I mean, what are you going to say about Eugene? Well, I don't know what love is, but I'm certainly going to go out and try my best to find it. Eugene is going to go, he's going to be a man. He's growing up finally. He went to Negan. He learned the hard way of being a savior, and then he had to turn on Negan, and even though we didn't think he was going to, I think he earned his stripes by saving the group. And then even still, he still was kind of lost. But now, he's got a chance to lead the group into the future. Maybe find a solution for everybody. So, a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement. So, what did you guys think about the little, the teaser between Fear the Walking Dead and Rick, as soon as I saw that Rick clip, first thing I'm thinking is, oh my goodness, now I'm going to have people get in this stream and they're going to talk about Rick is back on the TV show. He ain't coming back, number one, because they already said it was his final episode. But when you guys saw that, be honest, how many thought like, wait a minute, is that a Rick scene from the finale? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you thought that they were going to bring Rick back for the finale. I know. All right, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. So it is. I understand. Not everybody, but it did seem like they were going to transition him over. Hey, we're about 15 minutes in, so this is our final reaction video. Our final reaction video for at least a couple months. So whenever we decide the order, I don't know what the order is going to be. It's going to be World Beyond. It's going to be Fear. It's going to be the finale. Everything's just a big mess right now. We got E Beach in the house. What's up, E Beach? Kills. So we're now on 16. We know the setup. What is Maggie's appearance going to be? Is she going to bring the army, or will she be solo and run into the survivors of the Walkers? So I think Maggie is not going to be solo. I think she will be introduced solo, but I think she's got reinforcements. Now, for some of you that like to bring it up, I do know that the widow and Ezekiel and Shiva already saved the day in this type of format. But I think Rosita is only going to do so much. I think Rosita is going to have a big impact, but I also have to think Maggie's introduction is important because, well, let me ask it like this. And Eric, I'm going to answer your question with an example, because I think this is a very important example. So, believe it or not, and this is me, and I'm speaking for a few other people, which I usually don't like to do. When certain people leave the show, if you would agree with this, let me know in chat. A good portion of the audience turns its attention and its affection to other people. For example, I think when Rick left the show, I think the audience had a little bit more love to give to Negan. I think the audience had a little bit more love to give to Eugene, to Ezekiel. And I think the writers can capitalize on that. And the reason I bring this up is because we could potentially be losing, we lost Michonne. Okay, if those are facts, then hopefully you'll agree with my next statement. Is it easier to accept Maggie back if Rosita is dead and Michonne is gone? Based on that example and that premise, is it a little bit easier for most of the audience to accept Maggie, even though they're a little bitter when she left, they don't understand why she left, but if the group needs her, then it makes it an easier entrance. So if you do that in combination with how they bring her back, right? Okay, no worries, Lisa. Some people, it's a non-issue. If you love Maggie, not even affecting you at all. However, there are people who are on the fence with Maggie. So I think the combination of creating the perfect situation for her to come back, bringing some reinforcements, bringing a little bit of hope, and also doing it in a badass way is going to kind of get us talking. It's going to get us thinking about it in the off season, like, hey, you know what? Hey, I don't really understand why she left, and I know she left Hilltop and this and this and this, but we'll kind of put some of that in the back of our mind. if she comes in and blows up a whole bunch of walkers and maybe she kills Beta, but maybe she saves a few people and then Rosita is gone. So I think if you sprinkle all those elements together, you create kind of the perfect storm. Happened with Negan, and they had to create a lot of things for Negan. And they did it. In fairness, they did it. They did a great job. Took them 2 seasons to do it, but we're back in a good spot. Because I'm going to tell you, the Negan barometer went hate, slight dislike, don't trust him, can't ever be redeemed, kind of like him, he's got to do a little bit more, love him. That's been the Negan scale. Now, some of you are on the other end of that scale and you started out, love him, love him, love him. I get that. But for the rest of us, it's been that gradual climb. Like, prove it to us. Maggie was, we love Maggie, farm girl, Herschel's daughter, she's great. Maggie gets on my nerves a little bit. Maggie's great. Oh, Maggie's evil. Maggie left us. With Maggie, it's not quite that slope that Negan's on. It's more like a heart monitor. Yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, nope. Kind of back and forth. And now me personally, I've never been in love with Maggie. I've always been kind of indifferent to Maggie. Like, she's okay. Similar to other characters. Same thing with Aaron. I've always liked Aaron. He's okay. There's a few characters that just, you like them. And maybe they're not your favorite, but you don't dislike them. But when she went evil Maggie, right? Who remembers evil Maggie? You guys remember that scene, right? Remember the scene? Remember the room where we didn't know? It was a big cliffhanger. We didn't know what next season was going to be. If the Hilltop was going to be shooting at Rick. If they were going to be friends with Rick. Like all of those things, right? Yes, that's it, Amy. You remember when she had everybody together? Now, Jesus, what you did saving those walkers, that was right. What Rick did, that was wrong. Next time, we're going to be prepared. And it was kind of like, here's Daryl walking out of the shadows. Hey, I don't care. I'm going to kill some bitch. It's, no. That whole scene, I need to erase that minute of The Walking Dead from my mind forever. I can't. It is ingrained in my mind just like the Negan lineup. If there's like 2 scenes, I will always remember. It's why did they even do that? It was not even necessary. We talked about that for like a month, like what's going to happen? And then next thing you know is we go to next season, right? Like, we're just all building bridges. It's back to everybody's getting along. It's all good. Yeah, that was crazy. But to me, that scene was based on the fact that they did not know. Here's my assessment of that. I think they put that in there because they didn't know what the contractual situation was going to be with Lauren Cohan. Let me know if you agree with that. They had to make it awkward because they didn't know whether she would leave, whether she would stick around for half the season, or whether she would be back at a later point. So I think she kind of caught them off guard, and that's why it was very awkward. Because I love The Walking Dead, and yeah, you can't write that badly. It was just kind of thrown in there. Let's just add a quick 30-second segment just in case we got to make Maggie Walker bait for next season. Oh, she's coming back? Viewers will forget that happened. Let's just have her kill Gregory now. Now, Rick, I ain't mad at Rick Grimes anymore, but I'm going to hang that Gregory. Yeah, we just changed the story altogether. It's fine. Jessica. I've been talking for 3 straight days. So the last time I took my temperature, it was 96.7. I'm like, I'm chill, man. I'm under the grade. But yeah, let's see. Spoilers. A Friday night event that we had a blast on Friday night. 7 hours of live streaming yesterday and another 6 hours of live streaming today. So, yeah. So, save yourself by doing a second of Alpha and Daryl in 1 minute. I haven't heard Alpha in so long. I don't even know if I can talk like Alpha. It is. It's a lot of talking. I remember your Maggie rant video way back when she left, and it was hilarious. Yeah, I was mad. I mean, here's what I would say. And you guys are probably well aware, I've done almost 3,500 videos in 6 years. It's a lot of videos, a lot of talking. Believe it or not, I know this is going to be hard to believe. In those 3,500 videos, I've been wrong a couple of times. A few, maybe. But that's a lot of videos. I've done a lot of rants. I've done some parodies. Played a lot of games. Did some gaming reviews. Talked a lot about The Walking Dead. Made some bold predictions. But yeah, a few times. Certainly, it's happened. I don't know, maybe 3,500 times. I might have been wrong like once per video. It's happened. But here's the thing. I'm not above being wrong. I'm fine. Because in the state when we're discussing it, we're very passionate about it, and we debate it. And if we're wrong, we go back. Now, we're not coming out there saying, you're not going to see me put this up on the screen and say, it's confirmed that I hate Maggie. But I was a little upset. I didn't like the fact she left. But I think I was more upset as a fan, and I thought that Lauren and the writers could have teamed up and given us a better exit. I didn't like the fact that, Jesus is walking up and it's like, hey, you get any letters from Maggie? No, I'm still checking the mail. Maybe she left with Georgie. She might send us a letter. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to go to the mailbox. Let me go to the mailbox. Oh, it's not from Maggie. It's a bill collector. No, I didn't want that. So yeah, I can rant all over again if you guys want. We can start a rant right here, right now. No, I didn't like the way they did it. I didn't like she left. I wish they would have paid her a few $100,000 and said, let's do this the right way, instead of a cheesy ass exit to the show that left us hanging. So don't mistake the fact that I'm glad she's coming back with the fact that I was a little bit upset at the way they exited her off the show. Don't get that twisted. I will untwist that in a hurry. I will shut that down, no exceptions. The rant is still there. The fire is still there. But I understand why she left. But I wish they would have come to terms for the good of the franchise. That's my only thought. I thought the franchise, I thought the loyal fans, when I was doing that rant, I lost zero sleep. I'm going to be honest. I still went to sleep that night, and I was fine. I woke up the next day, 8 hours of full sleep. I was speaking from the perspective of Walking Dead fans. That I thought the Walking Dead fans, the fandom, deserved a better story. Not that she didn't deserve to get paid. She deserves to make whatever she can make. I ain't counting her paycheck. Hey, you do it. You go get that money if that money is there. But I wish The Walking Dead would open their wallet a little bit and said, let's give her a couple $100,000 extra to do this the right way. Let's figure this out. But they didn't. So, yeah, I mean, But from the rant perspective, am I over it? Absolutely. That was kind of a little taste of it, right? You thought I was going to go back there, but I'm not. I'm not going back there yet. But let's also say it was not a done deal she was coming back. So you guys are aware of that, right? That when she left, it was in limbo. It was not she's leaving and she's definitely coming back. It was she's leaving and it's vague. So I think eventually we'll get back to a good place. But she's going to get a big raise. But this is our, hey, we hit about 30 minutes. So you know what we're going to do? It's been a long day, and I think Jessica's right. I'm going to rest a little bit. I feel great, having a good time, love streaming with you guys. So just because this is our finale fan reactions for a month or 2 months, we are still, do not stray too far. We're still going to have trivia nights. We are still going to do random things. We are going to add our bold predictions. We were doing a little thing a couple months ago in December where we're picking the best episodes of all time, the worst episodes of all time as fans, not because we're bashing the show. But in all seriousness, I do want to say I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for doing everything that you guys do. Thanks for showing up in the streams. I know we all have our outlets. I know we're going through some difficult stuff. I know this week is going to be hell for everybody. I could not end this stream from the show without saying you guys are phenomenal. You guys are important to me. Be smart, be safe, and be here every night because we're going to have a good time. And no matter what's going on, we're going to come in our own little shell, and we're going to have our arguments, our conversations, our debates, our chats, our games, our trivia. And we're just going to do what little bit we can do to preserve our sanity and to enjoy each other's company. So thank you for everything that you guys do. It's been an incredible season. I'm looking forward to the next season, whether it's going to be World Beyond, whether it's going to be Fear, or whether it's going to be the finale. And the reason I'm looking forward to it, The Walking Dead brought all of us, or most of us together. Gaming brought some of us together. But for the most of us in here, it's The Walking Dead, and that's why we're here right now. So The Walking Dead may have brought us here, but the bond that we have in this group is going to keep us here for a long, long time. So thank you for everything that you guys do, and I will see many of you tomorrow. We got some tag team event if you guys want to check out PDL. And then stay tuned throughout the week. We're going to do 2, maybe 3 Walking Dead streams this coming up week because I do want to talk about this episode a little bit more. You guys have a great night, and I will see many of you tomorrow night. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.